that we should have a naming
Wally E for education.
Wait, so he's ours?
a naming deal for him, right?
He's ours. He's ours.
So I just so I want you to know, first of all, we are going to be taping the session that we're doing right now, right?
$5.
Right off the bat.
Oh, that was good.
What is this for?
That was good. That's a great question. So let's talk about what that's going to be for, okay? And so earlier in this week, right, we came into your classroom because it smelled like weed and we had this whole incident, right? And so I really think, if you don't need one, I'm going to tell you I need a talking circle about that, right? Because it made me feel bad. And so I think we need to talk about that, right? Talk about how that affected us, talk about what some of our resolutions about moving forward and stuff like that. And really, I want us to start thinking about ownership of our school, right? What is it that we really want from Hinkley High School? What do we want our reputation to be? You know, and what are we going to do as a community of people helping and supporting each other to move forward, right? Does that make sense? Right, and right in here are some of the smartest kids in the entire school.
Well, thank you.
So here's how this is going to work. Let me just, this is my talking stick. On the talking stick, it's a beautiful stick. This is a beautiful stick because it's decorated with these nice little gems. I'll kind of call them gems because they're gems to me, right? And so when you have the talking stick, you're the person that gets to talk, okay? How do we turn it on?
Why is it turning
It is on. It's recording right now.
Okay, great.
So wait, when we talk, it's going to face us?
It's going to follow.
You won't see yourself on video though if you get really super uncomfortable about that. You'll see the back of that.
But it should be following the stick.
It's not working out.
It doesn't want to stick. It doesn't.
Ew.
No.
There we go. There we go.
It's opposite.
It is opposite.
It's from self.
But I didn't want people to have to stare at themselves, you see?
Oh, but it's not taping me though.
Oh, I see what you want.
Oh. There's the camera.
Now what's your temperature?
Who's on camera right now?
Mr. Wilwell.
Great, perfect. So it'll take the person opposite. You don't have to worry about seeing yourself that way, right?
We see you all the time. I don't believe it.
One of the things I want you to think about, you know, why we're taping this too, just so you know, right? It's not because of this circle by any means, okay? Did everybody see the show that was on Nickelodeon, right? Hinkley High School is, if you didn't, there was a show that came out on Hinkley High School, us and Brent Hard Middle School in Oakland, California. We are one of 2 schools in the entire United States of America that was featured about the progress that we're making at our school, and especially around restorative justice and thinking about things differently and how we do stuff, right? So we're really trying to document some of the work that we're doing, and empowering students and talking about things when they happen is very important, right? And so could we all want to move together as a community? We want to transform our community. We want the best for our community, and we want the best for everybody here, right? So that's it. We want to document, we want to edit some of this stuff, and we want to show people the work that we're trying to do here at Hinkley High School, right? Great. So I'm just gonna start. I have some questions we're gonna ask, and I'm gonna hand the stick around. And if everybody could comment as to their own personal thing. And we're talking, everybody knows what incident we're talking about, right? So what did you think? So what was you thinking when you realized what was going on, right? So when all these people showed up, what were you thinking? Huh? Yep. What were you thinking? What did it make you think?
I don't know, it was obvious why they were there.
It was obvious to you?
Well,
I mean, I know what was going on, so I know why you guys were here.
Well, I'm slow, so I don't know what was going on.
Oh.
I didn't get it, and then people, like, I caught on, so, I mean, I don't know.
Honestly, it kind of made me a little anxious. Like, even though I wasn't like involved, it still made me kind of anxious because you never know what people could think.
I was like, ooh, dang, so I was in trouble.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I wasn't really like, it didn't really affect me anyway, but I just feel like it reminded me like of all the like lockdowns and stuff we had recently. But
It didn't really affect me either. It's just like, I knew why they were here.
Well, I knew that why they were here as well when the first security guard was here when Ms. Berber went to the restroom. And at first I was confused, but then the smell got stronger, and then that's how when I was able to smell it.
I was also anxious. I didn't have anything either. I was just like, you know, low key freaking out. And I was just, it was, how do you say it? It was weird seeing everyone who came in, like all of a sudden it was just, weird, I guess.
well, that first security guard like stated the obvious. He was like, "Whoa, it smells like weed in here." And I thought I didn't really smell it at first, but then, like after a while, it just came.
I think it kind of made us like look bad as a class.
Not in a bad way.
So when the guard first showed up, like, he says, "Oh my gosh, it smells in here." And I thought he was talking about in the hall or something. And it wasn't until I got back from the bathroom that I could smell what he was talking about. And my first reaction was, well, it's not my kids, it's not my class.
When I walked in, because I got a call that people were going to come up here, and I walked in the class before anybody else showed up, first of all, I could really smell it in here, right? But I felt bad because I couldn't think of how we can solve this without making everybody feel bad about that, right? And so how this was going to negatively impact our school. So the next question that we're going around and asking is, so what impact has the incident had on you or others? And thinking about that, and I think that was a great point that you made about with all the lockdowns and all the type of things going on in the community, how that sort of made you feel pensive or something like that. So what impact has that incident had on you, in either then or in the future, right? And thinking about how that affected you moving forward.
I guess it didn't really impact me because I've smelled it before, so it wasn't anything new.
Same thing as her.
Well, yeah, I don't think it really impacts me because I don't know what was going on. So, I mean, I'm okay.
It didn't really affect me because freshman year something similar happened multiple times when people be caught smoking weed in the restroom. So it really didn't affect me that much. I'm kind of like used to it, I guess.
Well, Ms. Thomas came, she was talking, but if it was to be, it's always like, dang, she assumed it was me already.
It didn't really impact me because it sucks to say, but it's like going here, like kids here smoke weed, so that's what teenagers do. So it didn't really impact me or make me feel different.
It really didn't impact me either because, well, like everyone has mostly said, it's like what teens do nowadays, so.
No, it didn't impact me either. I feel like it's just like normal, I guess.
Well, I think it impacted me because that was like a first for me that I've seen, and in the first time it happened, me and Ricky got accused of it first, so I was like surprised that I was accused
I just think it's kind of sad how, for us, it's already like we're used to it. Like we're not supposed to be used to it. It's supposed to be something that usually does not happen or just doesn't happen at all.
It's impacted me in that I feel a lot of embarrassment when Miss Thomas and the SRO and Mr. Willis and like all these people were in my room. I felt really, really embarrassed. Like maybe they think I don't know how to do my job. Maybe they don't think I know how to keep my kids safe. Maybe they think I'm stupid that I didn't smell this. So I felt really dumb during it, and I felt upset because we were trying to finish that one piece about the book, and so I really wanted to land the plane with you guys. So I just felt really, I was really affected. So
I personally, when I was standing over there and I could tell that's where the smell was coming from, I felt bad that somebody, I wasn't sure who it was, and I felt bad that at some point here this was going to affect somebody. Somebody's going to have to get pulled out of the room. This shouldn't be the way it happens at Hinkley High School, right? This isn't the school that I've been here for 7 years trying to build. And so it made me feel really bad. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this talking circle too, right, is because I want more from our school. I want more from everybody here. I want us to be a collaborative team, right, that's really working together to really improve our community. And so I'm just going to move to question 4 because I don't really think enough came out of question 2 to really ask question 3, okay? What do you think needs to happen? And I want you to think about this not just in like in us moving forward as a team, right? But I want you to think about us as a community. That's what we really are, right? We're not a bunch of individuals. We're a community of people. What really needs to happen here, right? What do we need to do, both as a school and just to move forward from this incident?
I feel like we need to work together because I feel like a lot of students are going through stress, and like maybe that's why they're drinking or smoking.
I think what we could do is better advertise the positive things that you can do in your community and whatnot. That way, like, people are more enthusiastic about doing those positive things rather than getting involved in negative things like doing drugs or whatever. So I think it would be, if we advertise, like, do like this positive thing or get involved in this positive group, people would be more enthusiastic about doing those things than getting involved in negative things.
I honestly don't know how we could help with that because people do it in secrecy and we don't really know until it becomes a bigger issue. So it's kind of hard to tell because some people don't want to say that, oh, I drink or oh, I smoke. So it's not really an easy thing to take care of.
Well, kind of agree with both of them. Like maybe if we have tell kids or teenagers or us like more things that we can do outside of school that will keep us away from like doing drugs and all that.
I agree with Randy. Like, there's not really much you can do. Like, you can't really tell kids what to do. Like, people are their own person. They don't do what they want to do at the end of the day. Yeah, maybe we could have positive groups and things and activities, but at the end of the day, that person's still going to do what they want to do. If they feel like that helps them, then I mean, that's what it is. And I don't personally feel like there's really much. It's all on the person. If you want to change, you can't make nobody change. They have to want to change for themselves. So, yeah.
I agree with the Lord because, I mean, you make your own decisions and maybe you don't know what that person's going through, so that's probably why you do one of those things.
Well, I agree with like idea where we could try to advertise the positive of just like the positive things, not the negative things, and but I also agree with the Lord how people will be the way they want to be because they're just they're kids and they think that's what is best for them, and how Lily Beth said that we don't know what people are going through, so they'll still do it. And
I just agree with all of them.
I agree with the Lord because, like, you could spend all your time telling kids to do the right thing and not to smoke and drink, and they'll still do it.
Something that I want to change here in the classroom community is when Jerry came back to our room and he rejoined our community, people made jokes and made comments about it, and I was really disappointed in that, especially because what I heard as we went around was you guys were saying, well, you know, maybe he's doing it because of this, or, you know, people, or maybe not even just personally him, but like you had good reasons that, and for you that might be happening. So I was surprised that we were making fun, and that would be something that I would really want to change for my community, is that if we accept that people make choices like that for a reason, then we don't, when they come back, we don't make fun of them about it too.
I think one of the things that I want, right, in just thinking about that question, is I want us to be a community of people together, working for the common good of everybody here, and we can't do that unless we're supportive of each other. And I don't know all the problems, and many times you know about difficulties that people are going through before it even bubbles up anywhere else. And if we don't all come together as a community to really help and support each other, then I don't know how we do this, right? It really is going to take every one of us working together to help and support each other. And right now we have some of the smartest kids, like I said at the beginning, right here in this class. These are the leaders of our community, the people that I'm counting on to lead Aurora into the future, right? So I want to really work together to figure out how we do that. Now I'm going to send it around one more time, and I'm going to ask that everybody says something this time, okay? Because this is what I want you to know, right? This is what I want to hear from you, right? Number one, do you feel empowered, or you in some way feel like this has healed the harm that was done as a result of that incident? And do you feel that somehow, maybe internally, that you want to do something to help somebody else as a result of that, right? Is there some way that you want to move forward as a community of people to really start making a difference here, right?
Let me go first. I have some think time.
Great.
I'm glad that we did it, and I have to say that Mr. Willis came to me and he said, I really feel like we should do a circle, and I felt really nervous about it because I wasn't sure how you guys would treat it. So I am very, very proud to be part of this community right now because you guys took it really seriously, and there was some great honesty that came out. So I'm glad that we did it. I do feel like it's going to be even more important to me that we are, when we have issues between all of us, which we already know is going to happen because we're human beings, that maybe we even have more tools to welcome each other, back into a good relationship. It's really important to me in my classroom that we are all kind of working together.
I don't think this was like helpful because kids might think, oh, well, what am I gonna gain out of this? I still wanna go smoke or drink. So I don't know.
Somewhat helpful, like what Sadie said. I think it was probably 50-50. Because what if Sadie said, that they still want to do what they want to do. They won't listen to people if they don't want to do it. But like some people will listen to that advice because it will benefit them.
I think it's also 50-50. It also depends on the person, like if they actually want the help or they just want to keep doing what they want to do.
I also think it's just 50-50. It helps certain people, but also the people who are going to keep, there's still going to be people who are going to keep doing that, so it's not really much to do about it.
I think it depends on the person, whether or not circles help them. And yeah.
I agree with what all of them said. It goes both ways. It's just on the person.
Personally, I mean, it didn't really like affect me anyway. This conversation, like, at the end of the day, everybody's gonna do what they want to do. Everybody's gonna have their personal opinions. And personally, how I feel about it, I don't judge you. Everybody's done it. Like, we're all teenagers. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed about. Like, I don't like, oh, there's no like animosity here. Like, it's just something that happens. Like, it is what it is.
Kind of go with what she said. Man, kind of, I don't know, I just kind of agree with what Sadie and what the Lord says. Just,
Honestly, I really don't feel like this helped. I kind of just felt like we put Jerry on blast. Yeah, I don't feel like it wasn't really fair, I guess. Because some people don't do that kind of stuff and some people do, so there's no need to like judge them what they do. Like, that's their personal lives. It's not really much of our like problem, I guess.
I don't really know if this conversation was necessary. I feel like the situation is already passed, and this is kind of bringing it back up since we were kind of, I mean, me personally, I was already past it. I didn't know what was going on, so I was like, oh, okay, with that. So, I don't know if this conversation, I guess if it were to affect whoever needs the conversation, it would have to be by people that they would listen to, and it may not necessarily be this community. It might be their personal friends or their family or people that would impact them and people that they would listen to. So this conversation with this group of people may not have been what the person needed to hear.
Kind of agree with both of them. I think we kind of put him on blast, which I think this situation could have been handled somewhat better instead of. I understand why we did this. Like, I guess we do want to be like more together as a community, but some things are handled better with privacy, and so I don't really think this conversation was.
I'm gonna start off with an apology to the class, especially Xavier, Ricardo, Jason, for, being falsely suspected. But I think it's also, big point, like we've said, it's kind of a normal thing now, and I'm not saying that it should be or shouldn't, but, everybody says it's normal, whatever. I mean, I've even heard rumors that even Mr. Willis, but, but,
Conversation is for Mr. Willis.
I also feel that it's not, I don't think anybody in this room particularly knows me well enough to judge me, but I'm not saying you should any way or another, or anybody else. But I do feel that it's not an accurate representation of myself.
I feel like it was a 50-50 because it kind of helped some people, like me. Like, it's just telling me not to, because I don't smoke or like drink, and it's just like telling me to get more better, not like to do those stuff. And then you know, it might not help some people either. So.
I agree with Karina. It was kind of awkward talking about it with Jerry here, and I don't think a simple talk would actually make a person change.
I appreciate all your voices more than anything. And I think the thing that one of the reasons I felt so adamantly about doing this was that I don't want this to be normal. This shouldn't be normal at Hinkley High School. And I wouldn't want anybody to feel like going into lockdowns all the time or having classrooms searched looking for marijuana or any of those types of things was a normal behavior or expectation that anybody should expect at a high school. And I have high expectations for everybody here, and I think I want to make sure that we're communicating that. And we all make mistakes, every single one of us. It's all about what we learn from those mistakes and how we move together, both individually and as a community. So I want to thank everybody here for taking time out of your class to really participate in this and then to have your voice heard. And there was no finger pointing here. I really felt that everybody came together as a community and expressed their opinion, right? And I didn't see anybody talking bad about anybody. And I feel like we can move forward as a community now. So thank you very much. Thank you, guys.